Yeah, alright, so it's Sunday, which means I should probably do a tutorial because I didn't do one last week. So, step 2, I suppose, in the OBS tutorials. How do you make scenes, and how do you make transitions, and all that good stuff. So, I have a new sponsorship. Hope you guys like the background music too. I've gone ahead and made a whole new scene collection here. At the top you see it says tutorials. So all I have is the tutorial scene, and this display captures the source. So first off, transitions are let's make another scene, alright? We'll just call this scene 2. You guys can call it whatever you want, be like a BRB screen. We'll have it capture something else. Let's have it capture my window, right? There you go, it'll capture YouTube. So that's my YouTube window. So I'm gonna go between these two. Right now it's set to this, hang on, come back here. You can see that was the transition for fade. And it gives you cut. You have like the other option. You have cut, which is just bam, bam. Fade. But if you click this plus, you've got some more. You got swipe, slide, and stinger, Luma wipe, all these. What I use in my stream is Luma wipe. And this comes up here. I don't think I even changed this. Preview transition. No, I don't use Luma wipe. What do I use? Maybe I do. Hang on. Trash that Luma wipe. Linear. Oh, okay. This is where all the options come in. My bad. I think I might have done watercolor. Yep. So that's where I came up with mine for on stream. And then I just slowed it down to like 3,000 milliseconds, I think. So you go between there, boom, just like on stream. I click between here. I have hotkeys set for mine as well. I use a number pad during my stream. I'm probably going to be getting rid of that, but that's, you know, a nice easy one. In case you don't know, you go into your settings. There's a hotkeys tab. You can set hotkeys for like everything. Some of the other options, you know, fade to color. So I think, you know, like fade to black is standard. I'll skip the song. So this is what fade to black looks like. It'll completely fade out and then come in as the next one. Just like I said, you know, change your duration down here. That's about it. And properties is just how you change the stuff. Peak, color point, all that stuff. So you guys can play around with that. That works pretty well. So, let's say you want to get streaming, right? We kind of went over real basic setup. Let me check and see if there's any questions other than that. We got scene transitions, so that's Captain's question. Answered. Alright, good. So, you want to, you know, make scenes is just as easy. Click plus down here. Name it whatever you want. You saw that's how I made scene 2. And then for sources, you can click down here. You got all these options. So many. Like I mentioned in the other tutorial, game capture is going to be your big one, especially if you're doing anything that's full screen. Occasionally you can have issues with that, so you'll want to use window capture. Or if you just want to capture your whole, like an entire screen, that's where you go display capture. And that's what I have right here. That's how we get OBS on the screen, because there's not really any other way to do that or not any other easy way. You also have things like you can do an image slideshow. That's what I used to use in the background for like my Super Nintendo scenes and stuff, where a game capture wouldn't take up the whole screen. It would only take up like half. So you would inevitably end up with some empty space somewhere, and I would just have a slideshow of images, you know, like SNES controllers, PS1 controllers, or symbols, stuff like that in the background. All right, let's see what else there is. You can, on any of your sources, you can click the little gear icon to go on the properties here. And this is how, you know, like I have 2 monitors, so monitor 1, monitor 2. Backwards, monitor 2 and 1. So if you wanted to record a game, you know, you come down here to game capture. You'd hit create new, name it whatever you want. I just leave mine as game capture. Click OK. And then these are the important settings. Let me make sure we are capturing this, alright? So usually, yeah, full screen application is your most useful one. Like I said, if you're doing full screen games, it's usually fine. Capture cursor, that's on you. Whether you want that or not. Some games you may want it, some you might not. I usually leave it on, because usually if I'm using my cursor, I want people to see. There's a couple situations where, like, you may have a weird game that has a cursor, like you don't use the cursor if you're using controller, and it may show a cursor in the middle of the screen when you're not using it. Then you could just turn cursor off, and you'll be set. This, I have been told to leave on, the anti-cheat compatibility hook. It's something with how it picks up the games, and apparently if you turn that off, it can cause issues, so don't recommend turning that off. When you have that all done, you would just say okay, and there you go. Here's another thing that's important. Like, it's not picking anything up right now because I don't have a game running. The order of these, top is going to be what you see on top. So if I were to do window capture, right, so we have window capture. Now you guys can't see OBS because the window capture is on top of display. But if I drag display up, boom, OBS is on top now. So that's you know, that's how you get your layers. If you're gonna have a lot of different sources, if you have some images on the screen, remember some of that stuff you want over top of others. See if there's anything else super important. This might be a kind of short one. I'll do a tutorial on Sammy next. Occasionally, you might get weird stuff going on with your scenes. Let's see, we go here, right, fade in and out. Come back to this other scene. If I click game capture, it doesn't show that it's anywhere. So if you get, you know, you want something centered on your screen to fit the screen, whatever, you can right click on your source and go to transform. And then you can do, you know, center to screen. Still don't see it. Excellent. What I'm confused about is not that I don't see it. I know there's no game running. Sometimes you should have markers around where it should be anyway. So you could also do fit to screen. There you go. Now you can see that it has the red outline. That's where it would be on the screen, even though it's not there right now. And as you can see, the red line here. So game capture takes up the whole screen. Window capture does not right now because it's only capturing the browser and I have, you know, the bar underneath. So you would have to F11 in like a browser if you want it to be truly full screen. Okay, so this is also where if you were to have text or something, you can do that. You text, you know, GDI plus, type in whatever you want, steal from LGR. Here, we'll put this tutorial. Boom, you change the font, whatever. Drag it where you want it to be. And then, you know, get your eyeball, can turn it on and off. Oops. Text transform. Oh, there you go. Uppercase, lowercase, start case. I guess start case is default. You can outline it, do all kinds of stuff. Right, and then this would be like for your BRB screens, things like that. Okay, another big one here. Let's go ahead. If you ever want to delete a scene or a source, it applies to scenes as well. Click the scene or source, hit the delete button. Are you sure you want to remove it? Yep. If you're getting into streaming, you may want, you know, something like a webcam. So webcam is going to be in your video capture device. Boom, click it. Create new. You can rename it like I renamed mine webcam. Thanks. Mine's the Logic C2 webcam. There we go. Look at me looking like a chump. And that's it. So it has no... You'll notice I have the green screen back there. I'm not going to fiddle with that now. But, boom. This is the default settings. You can play with your camera settings. Make it look better however you want. Turn that on and off. That's the wrong one. This is another example. Hold on. See, if I drag it down below display capture, you can't see it. Doesn't matter. I'm going to turn it off anyway. So that's important. That's, you know, really only if... Let me delete that and it won't shut my light off now for some reason. Nice. That's, you know, only if you're absolutely using a camera. Obviously, like, you don't have to use a camera to stream or record or anything. Only 13 minutes. It's going to be less than that once I edit it down. I feel like I really didn't offer you guys too much today, but I briefly showed things off before like this, but if you go to a scene, you know, click and drag where you would want it. Let me drag it above here. See, so this is how you'd get your layering. Put that there. You can drag it around here. Shrink this window down. All you gotta do is click and drag. Simple things like that. So you can have multiple screens up at the same time if you want. And sometimes that happens, you know, restream events, or if you got something playing while you're playing a game, things like that. And then, you know, you could do that. Let me put my camera back on here, right? So video capture, because I completely deleted it. Thank you. And then you would just drag camera in the bottom right, shrink it down to fit, and oh my goodness, all of a sudden, there we go. We can watch this and that. But I think that's pretty much going to be it, guys. So you got your transitions. You learn how to make sources. Kind of went over the settings, which you should do for streaming. That's really basic. You know what? Hang on. We can make this a little longer, I think. Okay, guys. I'll give you a little easy tutorial on Stream Elements too, I guess, since that's what I use for my overlays and alerts and everything, and this video is not nearly as long as I wanted. So let me turn the window capture back on. Yeah, we got Mr. Muscles here. But if you go to streamelements.com, I'll make it a little bigger so you guys can see for a second. All you do here is, if you were making like pre-recorded YouTube stuff, you can go to the Video Creators tab. This is mostly aimed at live streaming, so you click live streamer. It'll have you log in with Twitch right there, and then after you log in with Twitch, it'll remember you, and when you click live streamer again, it'll bring you right back to your home page here. We'll full screen this so you guys can have the full experience of looking at what I'm looking at. So, you know, you can change. You know, I have like a sponsorship opportunity. We'll get rid of that. You can change your settings for your title and your game and stuff here. What's really important though, and what you mainly would use Stream Elements for, is overlays. So you go over here to alerts widgets and click overlays, and like this is what my stuff looks like. So this doesn't look like much, right? This is my starting soon overlay. Can I change scenes on the fly? I can. Alright, we're still recording. So that's what this looks like here. I would normally have a game going in the background. You know, you've got the timer up there. This Twitch goal on the top here is separate from Stream Elements. But I can show you the other ones. Like the PlayStation one. Oh, my camera's come on, and I have stuff here. But you have chat up in the top right. You have the game info and things like that. So tutorial scene. Thanks. And that's my starting soon. So I'm slowly working on having different overlays for each specific scene. And the reason for that is just because things fit differently in each of my scenes. But if you wanted to make an overlay, you can either click New Overlay, and you choose your resolution here. You know, 720 up to 1440p is normal, or you can do custom. And you would name it, and then start adding widgets on the left. So you add widgets, and this is stuff down here. You got alert box, merchandise alert box, like hype cup, your streams chat. You can do right through stream elements. There's all kinds of stuff in here. You can have text. I believe somewhere in here's, yeah, this is where I had the countdown for the starting soon screen. But that's completely blank slate when you do that. Like, and seeing it, just when you do it, it just saves it as an unnamed overlay. You can go to overlay galleries if you kind of want somewhere to start, which is what I've done a couple times. And this is where I get my alerts as well. If you find one, you know, you want to look at these, you click create. It will kind of give you a general idea of what you're looking at. So you have like a border for your camera. This is what your alert box would look like. And you see they have tags, like the orange animated tag. Up here they have, I assume, like I think these are like the most popular ones, and they're usually some of the higher quality overlays too. You got Halo, Halloween, New World, all kinds of stuff. So if you click this, this is kind of what your alerts would look like, and your whole setup, things like that. So that'd be great for, you know, music. This is one I looked at a couple times, and this also shows that it will give you for all these different scenes as well, like starting soon, here you go, and you can just rename these things however you wanted. There's your BRB screen, and what that'll look like is, let's say, create my overlay. It gives you a bunch of links, right? Oh man. So ignore the pink ones, but if you found an overlay section you like, click create your overlay. It would just spawn all these in here for you. And you could say, all right, I want to edit this. Click edit, wait a second for it to load, and boom, here you go. You can drag things around. You can, this is all your layers up here. So your left side has all this stuff. You know, your alert box is very important. And pretty much any layer or any of that stuff you're going to click on has a settings bar down here. Some of these are pretty custom, like text image. Your alert box, though, usually turn on and off alerts as you choose. You can put custom sounds in here by clicking the gear, how long it's going to be on, what it says. You can do this for all of this stuff. Things like subs. The sounds can be specific to a certain number of gift subs or certain tier sub. I actually have to make tier 2 and 3 alerts for my subs now, which I didn't think I'd ever have to do. Charity alerts, I think that's pretty new. I think that came along with a lot of the Twitch charity updates. Purchase alerts if you have merch, you know, things like that. And then another, one of the nicer things about Stream Elements is when you're tinkering with all this stuff, you can go down here and click emulate, and you can say, like, what if I get a follower? There you go. So this is what it would look like when somebody follows. Or if you got like a sub. So you do things like that. When you're all done, you know, you can have it either come through your browser, or you can have it come right through. If you have your streaming software open, so here's another important thing. To get this on your streaming software, come up here and click copy overlay URL, and then put the display capture back at top so you guys can see. Come down here and make a new source. This is going to be your browser source, right? So you would name it whatever you want, you know, BRB screen. Click OK. This is where you're going to make it, you know, proper resolution. What am I doing? That's not right. Nah, hold on. I'd forgotten resolutions for a minute. Alright, so you do that. You paste in that source. And boom, there it is. So that would, honestly, that would be all you would need for a starting screen. It's just that one browser source. You're good to go there. If you... So, we'll show you what this looks like. Let me get rid of that one. And we'll go back to the one that's supposed to be on the main page. Alright, so that's gonna be one of these two. An in-game scene. Oh, so this actually has two, right? I'll show you guys. Yes, please. So this one's an in-game scene, and this one is an in-game talk scene. So I guess if you're just like a just chatting scene. Well, we'll go ahead and look at the in-game scene, because that's, you know, what you're normally gonna see. Bunch of nonsense. Here's all your windows. This probably, you know, where your camera's gonna be. Yeah, so, you know, it's split into left side, right side, whatever. You can click these to expand them. Left side's there. That's all that stuff. Right side's here. And this is honestly a pretty complicated overlay compared to a lot of them. You can see over here there's notes on the screen. This is invisible though, right? Which... Okay, so that's that box with download icons. If you have things in here that you don't want to show, if you want to make notes or other kinds of weird things like that, or you're just not feeling having a widget on right now, but you don't want to delete it, you can toggle the visibility on and off. So you turn it off, you won't see it on your stream. Oh, here we go. So this is also set up for 4:3 as well as 16:9 apparently. So right now it's set to 16:9. That's correct. Let's go ahead and copy the URL here. We'll come back to display capture, do the browser source just like we did before. Copy that. Make the resolution. If you don't make the resolution right, it will just show up in the corner. And there it is. So you can see it's overlaid on top of our current display capture. And now, if we were to, like, emulate a follower, there you go. It shows up down here. You can see what it... so that's what it looks like on your screen. And the way you would do this... So this won't automatically put your webcam there. So if I turn my webcam on, and I would have to put it here, right? So it's got to be under the browser overlay, but above my display capture. And it's currently not set to widescreen, because I usually go with a square. But you would do something like this. Make it fit. Now, flip side of that, if you want your camera in the bottom right, you can totally do that with this scene. So you would put your camera here, right where you want it. There's a truck leaving. That's cool. Let's go ahead and window capture up here now. So, see? You can simply click and drag this as long as you have the right thing. Let me turn off the double overlay real quick. So, click and drag this here somewhere in the bottom right. I don't know why it has such a weird box, but anyway, you can find different styles of these all over. So this is technically the very bottom right. So if we click save, because these changes don't happen till you click save. But you can leave this stuff up in the browser, right? And now you can see that the frame is moved. So then my camera would go something like here, drag it down, and you're good. Alright, let me shut that off. I think that's a pretty decent tutorial for, you know, Stream Elements, things like that. Create your own things. You can upload sounds to Stream Elements for alerts and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to fix all my own overlays now because those have popped up there. But hey, thanks for watching. If you guys have any specific questions, let me know. We'll try to keep these tutorials short and sweet. Next up is probably Sammy and stream automation, things like that. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I will catch you in the next one.